What's up, YouTube friends? Today I want to talk a little bit about kayak carts. I've had all kinds over the years, and I know I go to the Native Watercraft Forum and I see guys with big kayak boats like these Slayers, people with Hobies, big boats who are always like, well, what cart should I use? And the truth is that a lot of the kayak carts out there aren't really made for us. They're made for like someone who wants to take a boat like this Marvel right here and just go out on the water and then be able to stow that cart away, but they're really not carrying any gear, maybe carrying a camera. They're just sightseeing or just paddling for exercise. Us guys who like to fish, if you're like me, you accumulate junk and more junk and more junk, and then before you know it, you've got fish finders, cameras, fishing rods, bait tanks, tackle, and your kayak that only weighs like 80 pounds now weighs like 160. So that's the place I find myself in. I like to take my stuff, especially if I go out on the ocean. You got safety gear and things like that. So I've run the gamut. I built a kayak cart out of PVC because I see people that do that on YouTube. That's great if you've got this boat right here and this boat is empty, or you've got, I don't know if you can see it, I've got my little Wilderness Systems Pamlico 10 down there, and you're just toting a little bit of stuff. Next cart I bought was this scupper cart. At the time I had a tarpon, and it worked great. It has the adjustable, it can adjust in and out. Even still, you know, the scuppers are like one of the weakest places on a kayak, so I never felt good about loading that kayak down and using this. Essentially, I would use this to dolly the boat either down to the water, down to the beach, down to wherever I was going to dolly it, and then I would make that 2 or 3 trips toting fishing crates and everything else. So I have this cart, and I like it okay, but I decided I want something else. So I went out and I bought this guy, and I forget what this is called. It was a really good cart. Now for the Slayers, okay, I put these 2 tubes on here, and you can probably see all it is pool noodle, and this here is like PVC. It's actually PEX. And then I use zip ties to kind of lock it in this spot right here, because that was like the perfect width to fit the channel of that boat in there, and also to fit the little side channels, or I don't know what you call them, down on the side of the gunnels. But I made that so the boat wouldn't slide off. Once again, even still, these boats are like this. I think this guy's 33 inches. This 10-foot Slayer is 34 inches. You know, that's a wide boat on this, and I don't know. Fortunately, this guy's like maybe 19 inches wide on the bottom here. So there were times you get down on sand, you get a little lean on that cart, and the next thing you know, man, your whole setup is tipping off to the side, and you got fishing rods in the sand. This is not a bad cart, and the other cart's not a bad cart. They're great, and they have their purposes. And when I use this, I think you've seen some of my videos where I cart my boat down on this, and then I go back and get all my gear, just because when it gets that heavy, it gets really, really unstable. Well, I have not wasted my winter here in North Carolina completely. I decided that I wanted to build the mega cart. So what I did was, for Christmas, I got a welder, and I taught myself to weld. That's what this horrible green jacket I'm wearing is. Right there is my Lincoln Electric Pro Easy MIG 140. I taught myself to weld. I was like, man, you know, you can learn anything on YouTube. And then I went out and bought me some stainless steel, and I built this guy. Haven't named it yet, but I know people are always asking about carts, so I just want to show it to you. And maybe if you're a handy guy like me, you might consider doing it. It's all stainless steel. That's 1-inch tubing. This is like 1 by 1/8. And I'm going to kind of go slowly here, because if you're like me, you learn stuff off YouTube. I learned how to fly fish, a lot of kayak fishing tips. And this was the frame that I designed. Got a lot of triangles in there. That makes everything really stable. This thing is just, I want to say it's 34 inches. If I'm shaking here, it's because I'm getting out my... Yeah, that guy is like 33 and a half, or what is that, 33 1/4 inches wide. I actually measured that out so that it will roll through a 36-inch door. You can see that I'm down in my basement here, and one of these days I'm going to get rid of this stupid 32-inch door that I have, and I'm going to put a 36-inch door, and then I'm going to drag these two boats right off the rack onto this cart and tow them. I've got a little pin here that I can pull out and then separate this into two pieces. Now, with that said, this cart's not the cart that you're going to roll out and then you're going to pack it up onto your kayak and take it out on the water. But what it is the one-trip pony. You get to load your kayak, you get to load every piece of gear that you have on here, because this thing is solid, man. It's sturdy. I mean, it's not going anywhere. I bet it would hold, if I had to guesstimate, man, this thing will probably hold 500-600 pounds. That stainless steel is solid stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I get to load my kayak now with the drive system, with all my junk on there. I guesstimate it's probably like 160 pounds. And then I can roll it out to the water, roll it out to the beach. Those tires, I know what I'm gonna get comments that say, hey man, those aren't sand tires. Well, the good news is that axle in there is just a 5/8 inch bar. I can change it out, put pretty much any wheel I want to on it. I bought those at Northern Tool for like, I don't know, 12 bucks a piece. So I was trying to keep the wheels cheap just to get things going. One of these days I might upgrade my wheels to some wheel E's or something like that. But there you have it, man. That's the new kayak cart. It's super duper heavy duty. It holds my 10 and my 13.5 foot Slayer propels. And then one last measurement. I know I'm shaking you all around here. Just in case anybody wants to build one, I'll send you the measurements and give you any tips I can give you on welding. I'm by no means a welding master. This thing is 102 inches long, about 8.5 feet, and 33 inches wide, something like that. So there you have it. I've tried it out. I've put both kayaks on it, loaded them completely down. It works great. It is a expensive endeavor. It may be more than you want to dig into. I probably spent in stainless steel and stuff like that, I probably spent $220 on this, because I had to buy the welding wire. That stainless steel is like 40 bucks, and then all the stainless steel was about $180. So there you have it, man. If you're so inclined, dig in and build yourself one, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help you out. Anyway,